Have you seen what Apple has just launched in their WWDC 24 event? These are game-changing features, and in particular, they're going to change the way that we as marketers work forever. Let me tell you how. Hi everyone, I'm Tuvia Pincus, and we talk all things product marketing and tech on this channel. Today we're going to run through some of the amazing features Apple has launched from the WWDC 24 event. In particular, they went through all of the different OSs from iOS, macOS, iPadOS, tvOS, watchOS, and of course visionOS. But for today, we're going to focus on the most important things to you and me, and that is of course iOS on your iPhone, iPadOS, and macOS. Throughout the keynote, two specific themes were very prevalent, and in particular they were prevalent for us as marketers. Number one was enhancing all of our marketing processes through Apple's new and improved features, and number two was their generative AI features, or as they call it, Apple Intelligence, but more on that later. And before we dive into anything, I think a little bit of context is important here. Number one, not all these features will be available on all of our devices. You kind of have to have an iPhone 15 Pro and an Apple Silicon Mac or iPad to get a lot of these generative AI features we're going to go through today. But if you've got an iPhone XR or older, a lot of these new features in iOS 18 and macOS and iPadOS will of course be coming to your devices. The other thing to note is that iPhone saturation in Australia is just shy of 50%, and in America it's closer to 60%. So there'll be a lot of people, and particularly a lot of marketers, who will be impacted by these new features. So come on the journey with me and let's dive in. So first off, let's focus on iOS. With the introduction of iOS 18, your iPhone is going to become a marketing mega tool. How so? Well, number one, starting with what I like to call personalisation power. A few key killer additions are the likes of dark mode, not just for your iPhone, but in particular for your icons and wallpapers. The ability to place icons anywhere on your screen so you can really make your wallpaper shine or your widgets go exactly where you want them to go. And last but not least, something which I think could become really ugly is the ability to have color palettes across all of your icons and widgets. So what does this have to do with marketing? Well, you know, as marketers, we always need to find ways to engage with our customers, and we often find fun and unique things to do on social media, whether that's running competitions, taking photos, selfies, best dress competitions, running out to your local activations for things like the Australian Open or Bridgerton or anything in between, and asking and engaging with your customers to do an act. Maybe it's to win a prize, maybe it's just to be shouted out and be someone who is now famous for 15 seconds. So taking that in mind, imagine the possibilities in asking your target audience or customer base to create cool looking dark mode and icon themed palettes just for your iPhone. And who knows, maybe the best dressed wins an iPhone or anything in between. But the idea is an absolutely awesome way to now engage with your customer base. And given the saturation of iPhones, I think it's a pretty good bet to use this as your go-to campaign. On the note of personalization leads us to number two, and that is what Apple has coined Genmoji. You know, generative AI and emojis put together. It's okay, I guess the marketing team liked it. I'm not sold just yet. Essentially, this is the ability for users to go wild and create their own emojis for things like interacting with messages or just sending across to your friend when this one or this one or this one just doesn't do. How about creating a T-Rex on a surfboard? And just like dark mode and color palettes for your icons, this could be a key tool for your marketing campaigns. Think about running a competition for the best Genmoji to win percentage off your next purchase, or just to win in a competition for your next iPhone, for example. So many possibilities. And in the land of iOS, number three, which is certainly not least, and something which is found across all of Apple devices, not just iPhones, and will be particularly useful in things like macOS on your Mac device, more on that later, so stay tuned, is what Apple have coined their new suite of writing tools. It uses generative AI, and in particular it does some fantastic things like rewriting pieces of copy to suit your audience's tone, to potentially suit a particular narrative or anything in between. So you know when you're stuck on writing that brief and you just can't get the tone right, the brand doesn't match what the tone should match, and it doesn't match what your customers are supposed to be feeling when they read this. Well, enter in Apple's intelligence to help you make your briefs even better. Think about this tool as just another marketing manager sitting on your shoulder, ready to help you make what you've already done even better. And the best part of this is that it's context aware, meaning if you've done briefs in the past and you've understood what tone needs to happen with what brand and with what client, Apple should also understand this, and therefore when you're writing a brief, it should come up with something which will adhere to your brand's tone and anything that your clients want. So it's not just a marketing manager, it's a smart one too. Oh, hey there. Thank you for stopping by. If you've had any value from this content, please be that good person and give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear what you thought was amazing from WWDC and all these Apple announcements. Well, let's chat in the comments below. And if you do that, I can certainly vouch for your intelligence. Now let's get back to our scheduled programming. So next up is our beautiful friend, the iPad, and of course all the updates coming to iPadOS. Let's dive right in. It's pretty much copy and paste from all the iOS updates. They're all going to be coming to the iPad, but there's one particular new feature which iPadOS is going to have, which will, I think, become a game changer for not just marketers, but for people in general who use their handwriting notes on the iPad. And so number 4 is what Apple is coining Smart Script. So what exactly is Apple introducing with Smart Script? Well, in the past, we've been able to use our Apple Pencils to jot down handwritten notes on whether it's notes or good notes or anywhere in between. And if you're like me, my handwriting is not the best. So in the past, when I've gone back and had to read that again, specifically when I'm taking notes for clients, it's become a little bit of an iffy game. So what Apple have introduced with this new feature is something that they have coined smoothing your handwriting. And it's not just making it better, but it's making it legible. And one thing in particular that they're also going to be doing is if you've misspelled a word, it's going to correct your word for you, but in your own handwriting, which means there's no longer an excuse for bad handwriting. It's all going to be AI-powered handwriting for you and me. So can you imagine when it comes to sending those notes out from your meetings with your clients or those briefs which you've handwritten, there is no excuse for getting it wrong. Everyone can see what you've written. And of course, it's all there in black and white, ready to go when you need it. And one new thing while we're on the topic of sending things across to our clients is the ability for users to have live recording on notes, which includes live transcripts, just like we've seen with Samsung and Google, where in real time, you can now transcribe the conversation that's been going on between multiple speakers, and of course that will become a transcript on your Notes app as well, so you can always go back and refer to it. Think about how amazing this will be when you need to send meeting notes and minutes across to your clients. It's something which will be a game changer and save heaps and heaps of time. And when those notes are getting too long, well, in comes Apple Intelligence and can summarize the whole thing for you, and you can send it across as an email. And on the topic of sending across things via email, let's talk macOS and our number 5 on the list. I think from a productivity and a usability perspective, number 5 is a game changer for everyone. It's the ability for users to do iPhone mirroring on their Mac. So think about this as just yet another continuity element of the Apple ecosystem. While you're in the zone typing away, making sure you're getting those marketing briefs out, sending all those emails across and looking super busy, you hate, just like me, getting distracted by your iPhone across the table or across the room when it starts buzzing and you get out of the zone and you just don't want to be distracted while you're in work mode. So Apple are introducing the ability for you to mirror your iPhone, including all of the apps, all of the notifications, and anything that your iPhone can do right on your Mac. And so that means you never have to go out of the zone, never leave your deep thinking and deep mode of getting your briefs done. And all you need to do is just simply look to your left or right, wherever you want to place your iPhone mirroring, and you've got your iPhone right there ready to go. So those are my top 5. There were a whole heap of other things which Apple announced. Be sure to check out the videos linked below for a full suite review from multiple different creators. But for me, the top 5 have to be your iPhone personalization, Genmojis, using Apple Intelligence when writing things like briefs, Smart Script, the ability to smooth your written notes in Notes app in the iPad, and of course your iPhone Marie. And if you want to see why Samsung are just shy of what Apple are doing in the AI department, click here and get a view of what Samsung have done for their Galaxy AI. And of course, be that good guy or girl and do a little extra good deed to bring a little more light in the world. Until next time.